Hello and welcome to Black Cats Chat, the international fans podcast for Sunderland AFC. My name is Lee Thurkle. I'm from the Bilbao Black Cats, and we're back with a review show. Another Sunderland win, 3-2 against Bournemouth at the pissing down Stadium of Light. And we've got a cracking lineup today as well on the podcast. We've got Paul in Barcelona. Paul, how are you, mate?
All right, Lee, brilliant. Good to be back on.
Aye, it's been a while, hasn't it? You've had a kid since then.
Yeah, what a kid. I'm glad you still remember us, the ones from the Football League days. I thought now we're in the Premier, you might not want us back anymore. You might have found better
No,
guests.
no.
He
Doesn't
looks
work like
good
that
for
on
having a
here.
kid. He
I
looks
know.
good for having a kid.
Well, like he said, he works for the British government, man, doesn't he? So he gets well looked after. You know what I mean? Yeah.
If only.
And our second guest is the person. Well, he's one of three people that when I upload the episode, I have to put not suitable for kids. It's Sean Coxon in New Jersey. How you doing,
How are you?
Sean?
Good, mate.
That's quite mellow for you, isn't it?
I'm not gonna sweat. Nah. Now you've said it, you can get stuffed.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right. And then the final guest is Pete Shawler. Pete is originally from Chesley Street, but now he lives in Washington State. Pete, as you usually say, you're feeling better than you deserve. Is that right?
It is, aye. I had a 7-mile walk around the farm with the dogs this morning, just before the game.
Aye.
It didn't put me to sleep. Thankfully, that game wouldn't put anyone to sleep, would it? Bloody
No,
hell.
definitely not. Right, and Pete, I'm going to mention this because during the week we were having a chat on WhatsApp, right? And you sent me a message and you were saying, Lee, I don't know if you know about my background in football. And then you sent me this list of all of your previous qualifications and former jobs, etc. And I was like, I've got to use that for the podcast. Right, so this is Pete's background. UEFA A license, USSF A license, owner of NW Premier Soccer Academy and Camps, technical director of Portland Timbers and Thorns, executive and technical director of Salem United Soccer Club, director of Sports Science Department, Isle of Wight College, English University's national team head coach, academy coach and scout at Sunderland AFC, Everton FC and Huddersfield Town FC. Pete, who's going to play you in the film?
Well, hey, that's all former. You know, it's the former.
Pretty impressive though, son.
It's pretty impressive.
Well, when you've been around as long as I have, Sean, you know.
Yeah.
Right, so
60 next month. 60
There you
next
go.
month.
right, so Pete, I'm going for Dwayne Johnson, the Rock, to play you in the film.
I'll have Sylvester.
Oh,
No, I'd have
that's-
Jason. I'd have Jason Statham.
Oh, I was going to take him, but I've got a backup just in case you said that.
Phil
I've just
Mitchell's
seen-
playing you, Lee.
I've just seen Sean with his top off, so it could be Jason Statham in disguise.
I bet.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, mate. Listen, if you want to compare my background, factory worker, pizza delivery driver, English teacher, I think I'm going to go for Vin Diesel there.
Tell you, Phil Mitchell.
Shit, you twat. Anyway, right. So listen, we'll get onto the match then. That was some introduction. Paul, I suppose when I saw that lineup, I was like, yes, that's the lineup I want. That's the formation I want. That's the lineup. I mean, were you the same?
Yeah, exactly the same. I think one thing I noticed about Regis Lebris, he likes to, if we get a good result, he likes to stick with the same team. So I think maybe I was thinking maybe the one good thing coming out of a defeat is that it's like a reset and he's just going to pick the best team that he thinks is with the players that are available. Whereas in the past, I get the feeling I don't know, maybe Alderete wasn't 100% fit, but I got the feeling that because we'd had good results, he thought, I'm just going to keep it exactly the same. Because we had, 4 matches in a row, we had the same team. Whereas this one, I think he was like a bit of a reset. So yeah, great to have Alderete back in. And he looked, his first 2 touches were like immaculate as ever. And yeah, really good. And I thought Talby as well looked really sharp at the start of the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Pete, 2 players dropped out. It was Trey Hume and Gertruida. I mean, Talby and Alderete came back into the team. Should they feel a bit hard done by? Like Gertruida and
Hume's had a couple of, by his standards, a couple of games below par from what we expect. But then, boy, when he came in, his trademark tackle when he took the ball and then takes the play with him. That was spectacular. But I think going to the 4-5-1 and then having Le Fee in that free role was unbelievable. And he worked his socks off as usual, but he had that freedom to go where he liked. Where I stuck out in the wing, I think he's a little isolated.
Yeah. Go on, Sean.
Harry, my dog, thinks so too.
Oh, yeah, I bet he does.
Cheers, Harry.
Sean, what do you think about the line? Because I think you were kind of crying out for a back four, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I thought, I felt bad for Hume, though, like I say. And he's had his criticism, from a certain member of the Bilbao Black Cats. But listen, I think he's been good. And to be fair, when he brought him on, it was quite shrewd. He put him on the right, didn't he? He was higher, was like a winger. And I was thinking, oh, that's strange putting him there. But he was mid because he still had Mukiele behind him, and he was good getting on the ball, and his deliveries are good. But I was, like I say, the back four I think worked. Look, we're at home against Bournemouth. You need to get at them, don't you? I don't think the back five. I think it works against Liverpool. We'll probably see it against Liverpool and Man City and stuff. But teams we can beat at home, we've got to play the back four, And I'm pleased Alderweireld and Ballard played because that's the pairing I want to see really at centre half.
Well, I mean, I looked a bit of a twat during the game because, pre-game, I put a post on Facebook saying, that's the team, great team, that's the lineup. And about 20 minutes in, I get a text from my big brother replies saying, spoke too soon. And I thought, yeah, twat. So I put a comment saying, yeah, plenty of time till the end. Who had the last laugh?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, Paul, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I didn't see the first half because I had to take my daughter to a bloody friend's house and I couldn't get any kind of stream on my phone, crap signal. So I was listening to live score audio. So you have to fill me in on that first half and what the hell happened in those first 15 minutes because we were 2 down.
Yeah, well, it was from the first whistle. It was tiring. It was tiring just watching it. Both teams going at it. Bournemouth, to give them credit, they came out really attacking, attacking really quickly, pressing hard. Sunderland as well, pressing, and it was just end to end straight away from the first minute, just end to end. Both teams playing. I don't know. It felt almost like a derby or like a last game of the season fighting for survival. It was just both teams just going absolutely full throttle, and. But then the goals. I mean, I didn't think Sunderland actually played that badly in the first 20 minutes. The thing is, we just conceded 2 goals that were. One was a slip from Mukiele. He just obviously the conditions were terrible, just pouring down with rain, and he slipped, and then they got in. Brilliant cross, and then just tapped it in. And then the second was a Roof's error. You got to say if he scores from 40 yards, but it was, there were just 2 moments where. The kind of mistakes, one a bit of a slip, and the other one bad positioning, and suddenly we were 2-0 down. But it didn't feel like they were all over us. It just felt like end to end, and they just took the 2 opportunities that we gave them.
Yeah, I mean, Pete, that's what they say on the live score audio. They were saying that Sunderland kind of don't really deserve to be 2-0 down because they haven't been dicked on. But then again, I saw a tweet on X saying that's the worst 25 minutes I've seen the Sunderland for a long time. Do you think that's a bit unfair?
Very unfair. A bit like what Paul was saying. It was end to end and open, and we had shots and we were getting in behind. And, I think Mukiele was up and down like a fiddler's elbow. And, I think going back to what Sean said earlier, in the second half when he put Hume in there, Hume's crosses were fantastic, and that maybe is a different role for him every now and again. But to be honest, it's very unfair because I think it was pretty even apart from the scoreline. Both teams had chances, and they took theirs. They took theirs well. Mukiele's slip was costly, but that second goal, boy, I mean, inch perfect. Again, sadly, I mean, Roofs is 6'4". He was backpedaling. But that's a chance and a half to take for the American lad, and he finished it with aplomb, sadly. But neither team deserved to be 2-0 down at that stage. It could have gone either way. So I think that's very unfair to say it was the worst 25 minutes for us.
Yeah, well, Sean, I mean, you were kind of buzzing pre-match with the lineup, and then 20 minutes after the start, I get a text from you, fucking rubbish.
I was listening. I was obviously annoyed at the score, but listen, like the boys have said, they just took their chances. It was a slip and a worldie. Like, I will disagree with Paul on one thing. You cannot blame. I don't think you can blame Roofs for. Roofs is never going to concede a goal like that again. He's not, by the way. It was an absolute worldie. Like, it was. You tell your keeper to push up, don't you, when the ball's in that half, and it's slippy, it's wet, and he's just never going to concede a goal like that again. It was brilliant. So,
but how did it come about though? Like, why was he so far off his line, and what was the mistake from us?
Well, no, we had possession. In the right side, like it
was a throw in. Was it not that throw in?
It was a throw in, and then it's broke down. I think Xhaka has played a crossfield ball, and he's just took it on the halfway line, got over the halfway line, and just looked up and hit it. And you're never gonna. I mean, other than being closed down, he's not scoring from there. He could hit that 100 times, and he ain't scoring it.
It wasn't just like he floated it in the air, did he? He actually properly pinged it. It was
It was mint.
Brilliant. As soon as he hit it, you're like, oh god, he's in. You couldn't see Roof watch on the telly. You couldn't see Roofs in the picture, but as soon as he hit it, you're thinking this is going to be close. I do still think though that Roofs is. I know he must have been pushing up because we had a throw in like really high. He must have been really high.
Yeah,
but I still reckon, even though it was a brilliant finish, but I don't think you can be so far out to be able to concede that. I reckon that's a mistake personally.
Right. I mean, listen, like you said, though, I think it was like a basketball game. It was end to end, and I was disappointed. I thought because Talby had a good chance. It was a really good passage of play. I think even after 3 minutes, the one down the left where Jacques has played the ball through, and Talby just hasn't connected. And if he goes your side, that's a goal. You know, if he plays that across the keeper, that's in. And you're thinking one was a slip, one was a worldie. We found ourselves 2-0 down. But even then, like, I'm thinking we're all right. If we score, I think I put in the NASA group, if we score before half time, we'll be okay. And obviously we did. So I was happy after 30 minutes. I cheered up, Lee, you know.
Aye. Couldn't get any worse.
I couldn't. I was happy.
Pete, I mean, they mentioned there the lads, like end to end. Do you think that suited Bournemouth more than it suited us?
Well, especially being away from home, I mean, it quietened the crowd down. Obviously, the score was the reason for that. We did go a little bit quiet, but not as quiet as the commentators were saying. But, Xhaka, just before that, played this little reverse pass and we got in behind. There's a couple of times we did that. So, I mean, like Sean just said, it was a worldie. He couldn't have hit that second one any better. And Roofs almost got a finger. I think he might have got a fingertip to it, but bloody hell.
Yeah, he touched it.
A hell of a goal. Touch it, yeah.
But we've been guilty of that a few times. Remember the Fulham game as well. And Fulham, I was just watching the game before I came on here because they're ripping Spurs to shreds.
Tottenham's just scored.
Give the ball. What?
Tottenham's just scored.
Oh, no, they did?
2-1. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, but we give the ball away a little bit sloppily at times. Square balls, which, you don't often see from Xhaka and you don't often see from Makelele. But they were doing that and it was causing us problems. And we were as guilty, especially on a surface like that today. I mean, it was lashing down. I don't know if I saw that pictures right when it came out for the second half. Boy, it was lashing down.
I think it's like a bit of a pattern though. In the home games, we seem to like concede a lot of play possession in the first half. I mean, this one maybe not less so because it's end to end, but I'm thinking like Everton game today, West Ham. There's a lot of games where like we kind of look like in the first half we kind of you teams who you think we might have the better of them, and then they come out and you're thinking, wow. I personally am always like really impressed by them. I mean, I suppose they've been in the Premier League like quite a good few years and we haven't, but I'm kind of like Bournemouth. I was really impressed with them first half, like I was with Everton, West Ham, all these other teams. The first half, they come out and they're just like, I don't know, at it straight away.
Xhaka, Paul wasn't Semenyo. He was with us, wasn't he, back in the day?
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
I was trying to.
He was like Drogba today.
I was trying to work out who signed him. Was it Lee Johnson or Parkinson?
Parkinson, because it was the COVID season.
I thought it was Johnson. Because my mate went. I was telling my mate, and he went, And when Lee Johnson signed him, he went, he knew a player, Lee Johnson. Just joking. I didn't think, because I thought it must have been the Bristol City connection with Lee Johnson. That's why. But
No,
it was Parkinson, yeah.
It was Parkinson because it was the COVID
Parkinson.
season that got curtailed, yeah. So
right, okay.
But Sean, like we mentioned there, like end to end, and Danny Collins was saying after the match that we need to sort out this first 15 minutes, because that's the fourth time this season we've conceded in the first 15 minutes, and we haven't scored a goal in the first 15 minutes of a game this season so far. Is that something a bit of a worry as well?
It is, but it's just Le Fee stays in games, doesn't he? So, you know, he kind of loves it, doesn't he? I say it to him all the time, how good we are. Just even at two, he just doesn't panic, does he? So you're right. Again, listen, against City next week, you know, and then against obviously the scum the week after us. You know, we can't be going a goal down it. We can it. You know, we've got to be more. We don't keep enough clean sheets, I don't think. And every week we're getting bailed out, which is a good thing, but eventually it's just going to run out, isn't it? So we need to be switched on a bit more from the start of the game instead of this whole, because they seem to pull it around, don't they? They're brilliant at it. They'll concede, they'll be and then Jacques will have a go at them and give them a good coating, you know, and then they'll get the acts together. But they need to start doing it from the first whistle, you know, instead of having that coating on the pitch. So yeah.
Paul, I mean, I got a message from Daniel in Chile. He's the Spanish podcast for me, and he was like saying, like, bloody hell, 2 times Talby. And then he said, Christ on a bike, Talby, the 3rd time when we were losing 2-0. Now, you have to fill me in because I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. Has he missed some chances?
Well, there was 2. He had 2 shots where he like cut inside and tried to curl it in the far corner, and it went wide, which is like, but they weren't. I mean, they weren't good. They weren't really good chances.
Should we have done better or not? Or
I didn't really think so, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe Sean or Pete or something. I didn't. But unless there was something else, maybe he gave the ball away. But the 2 shots, I didn't think they were really good chances.
Where he frustrates me, listen, I love him going forward. I think he's really good going forward. I just think he's lazy as fuck coming back. I've just swore, there you go, Lee. 20 minutes in or whatever. But he is, like, defensively, he doesn't want to know. And I do think that's what costs were. But going forward, I've got no problems with him. I think he skillfully beats a man. He's tricky. He can come inside. He can go outside. In the chance, the first one, like I said, like I was talking about earlier, I think it was after 3 minutes. I just think if he goes across the keeper, he scores. He's trying to go near post. If he goes far, I think he scores it. And I can't remember the second one.
Well, I think the frustrating thing, Sean, is after that first one, I think he was trying to make up for it.
Right.
And he tried to curl that second one in. He kind of
that was right. It was the curl. That's right.
Yeah. But if that goes in, bloody hell, it's a hell of a goal. So,
it is.
You know, and you want that mentality, don't you? You want him going at goal. And I just think he took that shot out of frustration because of the first one.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got a lot to offer though going forward. He really has.
Right.
You know.
Do you think he's better on the left wing than the right, Sean?
Yeah, I do. Massively. Hugely. I think that's his position for me. Because he's good at getting, he doesn't always come on the inside as well. He goes on the outside. He's comfortable. He mixes it up a lot, which I like. Whereas normally they'll come on the good side, they'll try and cut in. But he'll happily go on the outside as well. Yeah, I like him. I like him on the left.
Yeah. Right then, Paul, fill me in on the penalty. I mean, I heard that Reinildo got brought down. I mean, was it a penalty? Was it a clear penalty?
Yeah, I think so. The Bournemouth players were going mad. I mean, they were shouting for everything all match. They were going crazy with every decision from the manager, all the players, and that one as well. They were shouting so much. I was thinking it could get overturned. This because like that. Obviously, they were like properly aggrieved by it. But then when you're looking at it, like so, Reinildo like steps across and gets his body between the ball and the player behind him, and the Bournemouth player just goes through him. So it was. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a penalty, and Reinildo actually did really well because it didn't look like there was any much danger, but he just kind of he just quickly got his body in there, and then went down. So to win a penalty from it was really pretty good.
Well, the Bournemouth players must take after the coach because Iraola, he's a Basque, isn't he? He's a Basque lad, and you know the Basque lads, they love to whinge. I mean, I've been living here for 20 years, and all they do is fucking whinge. So
He's a wanker, him as well. You know, at the end of the game, he's a right fucking moaner.
he's
Honestly,
less so than Arteta and bloody Lopetegui when he was at Wolves and West Ham. And Emery's a bit of a whiner as well, but all those 4 coaches are all Basque, so they've got something in common. They all whinge.
Do you know
Well, I
what
think
got us
three of them got yellow cards.
Yeah.
Hey, but do you know, Peter, that Scott should have been said. No, he's a dirty bastard. Him, by the way.
That's the next point. Yeah.
He should have been. I was fuming. Why are you not sending him off? Like, he should have got a booking for that. He could have 5 yellow cards today. You know,
Easily.
I couldn't believe it, mate.
There was, I think
right
there was 14 yellow cards. 14.
Yeah, well, that's coming on to the later point of the referee as well, right? But Pete, onto the penalty. I mean, massive moment in the 30 minutes. We're 2-0 down at home. The weather's shite. The fans are probably a bit frustrated because it's pissing down. We're losing. But Enzo Le Fee steps up. Massive pressure in it on him to get that goal, at least a goal back. But what a penalty!
Oh, brilliant! And I don't know what coverage you lads all get, but it showed you a graphic over here. Sean probably saw the same. And it had 4 missed penalties, and then it had the one Le Fee had scored previously, and he put it almost in the same spot. But the commentator's like, no one would have stopped that. Yeah. He blasted it with such confidence, man. It was different class.
But in the rain as well, it was pissing down, and it pissed us off because it took ages. It took an eternity for that penalty. I'm thinking it's just gone against we here. And I was hoping Xhaka would have just took the book, because I've watched Xhaka take his last streak for Switzerland and he breaks the net. And I thought, just give it to Xhaka and he'll just break the net. And then, because I thought, the longer you hang around as a player, you get nervous. And he's just, with it being slippy and wet, to find the top corner, brilliant.
Oh my God!
You know?
But what was the delay for, Sean? Was it like VAR checking and all that?
VAR, and then they were humming and hawing about the player on the floor, and it was VAR, and they were all mobbing the ref. And then I think at one point Jack was telling them to fuck off, and it was all just kicking off. And then it just took ages, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? Like the ref, just you've give it. I mean, how can you even check that it was a stone? I thought it was a stone waller. Honestly,
Lee, I know you didn't see it, but they had a player down in the box. They cleared the ball. We get it and come back at him. But like Sean said, it was Stonewall. Like, they were moaning and groaning. They hadn't stopped the play because the player was down. Yeah. Well, they oversold that one today. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, you mentioned there Alex Scott. I mean, the audio comment I was listening to, they were saying, Alex Scott could be in trouble here. He's done something to Reynildo, but then he said, just look at the replay. It looks like Reynildo goes for Alex Scott. It looks like the Sunderland players are targeting Alex Scott. Like I said, I don't know what happened, but is that a fair assessment or not?
Sean's gonna bite my head off here, but I didn't think it was actually. I didn't think there was anything in it. If anything, I thought Reynildo might have actually been the one who barged into him, and I was thinking, like, I thought it was a bit embarrassing watching the replay, like how Reynildo went down. But over to Sean. Over to Sean for the unbiased version.
Not for the penalty. For the foul that Scott did on Reynildo.
Oh, not a chance. I thought Reynildo was outstanding today. That was his best game in the Sunderland.
It was.
He was mint him today. But listen, he could have been booked 5. If he'd been booked 5 times today, you couldn't. And obviously he could have been booked twice. But I mean, he's got the brass neck, and he nearly scored now, But he's got the brass neck to say he should have stayed on that fucking pitch. Come on, we've all played the game. Not a chance. He should have been off. He should have been.
The fact that he got subbed off at half time says a lot, doesn't it, Pete?
Oh, filthy bastard.
Well, they saw the writing on the wall. Like Sean just said there, he could have been off twice. Probably
he could have been
half. So they took him off because they didn't want to go down to 10 men. Eventually, they obviously do, but they didn't want to be down to 9 men. But there was a number of their players like that. And they've got a couple of quality players, Semenyo being one of them. And why exhort to that type of stuff? Because you just saw the goal that scored a little bit earlier, and they've got quality players there. They didn't have to be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You live in the Basque Country, Lee. Maybe that's what they're teaching them.
Well, yeah, they teach them to whinge, and La Liga teams in general, Paul will back me up on this, just roll over on the floor. And
Yeah.
there's like basically a stoppage every 20 seconds, isn't there, really? So, but listen, Paul, we get into halftime 2-1, we get that goal back. And there's a bit of a pattern emerging, isn't it, between like going a goal down at halftime. We saw it at Everton. That a quick response, like a good team talk at halftime and a fast response. We saw it at Everton with a Jacques equaliser within 50 seconds, 20 seconds. Today it was like a minute after with Traore. Perfect start, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like what I was saying before about the first half, and it's the same like you're saying with the second. It does feel like there's a bit of a pattern to these games. It was a brilliant goal though from Traore, but like the way it was worked was class. The ball from it was Xhaka, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who played it to him? It was brilliant. Like I said before, I thought Xhaka didn't have such a great first half, but he got better and better as the game went on. And in the last, at the end of the game, he was awesome. But that pass was brilliant.
Because he had the chance to cross, didn't he? But he didn't.
He had the chance to shoot. He lined the shot up.
Yeah.
I'm pleased you mentioned that ball because it was brilliant. He went to shoot and just the weight on it. It was mint.
Yeah. And then
everybody was expecting him to shoot as well.
I thought he was as well. Yeah.
That's why I slipped it in. That's just the quality of the player.
Oh, magic.
Oh.
He done it in the first half. Sorry, he done the same ball in the first half for Talby.
On the other side.
On the other side, that little slip through. It was the same sort of pass,
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, you were making a point out if you want to finish off? Or have you lost your train of
I
thought?
was just finishing my commentary of the goal, and then so then Traore just little cut inside through the defender's legs. Keeper maybe should have saved it, but he did it really quickly. Just took a little touch to the side and then hit it, and he was good. He deserved it because he's been playing like better and better, I think, and so it was good to see him get on there.
I thought that was Traore's best game for me because I've been a bit critical of him. Lee and I have chatted about it as well. But I thought today was Traore's best game I've seen.
Yeah. No, and Sean lobbed me in the shit before when he said like my comments about Traore being critical of him.
I knew he was going to mention this.
And I tell you what, there's no bigger critic of Traore than Sean. But I've always defended him, haven't I, Sean? I've always defended him.
No. Do you know what? Right. I like him, but I called him the African Patrick Roberts, right? And I just said he's got no end product. I said he needs to score. And he doesn't, and then he scores. So, listen, I love his work rate. He's skillful. I can see why he plays him because he gets us forward and he's skillful, he's quick. But I just thought we need goals. We need goals up the front three, don't we? Other than the forwards, we need goals up the likes of Talbys, the Dingras, whoever plays in their wide positions. We need goals off, and we haven't had them this season apart from Talbys. So I was critical of that fact, but he took his goal brilliant, and I agree with Pete. That was his best game. I think he's been getting better and better. I really do.
Yeah, Pete, and like I've always defended Traore because I see the way he plays, and because he's so tall and lanky. Defenders kind of don't know what he's going to do, so they kind of stand off him a little bit and they give him time to control the ball, look around, and he always finds a perfect pass, or he always uses the ball very well. He's not going to be a Patrick Roberts where he dribbles and runs at defenders, but he always uses the ball well. And I thought, like, today, his feet as well, for that goal, the way he shifted it and got the shot in, was just brilliant, wasn't it?
Well, we've got some skillful players. Oh, my word. Watching the team play and just seeing their touch and the one touch stuff, even the commentators were on about it, was just phenomenal. And when we were knocking it around and pinging it around on that wet surface, we caused them problems. I know they caused us a few problems, especially when they got them wide. But for us, the thing with Traore is a little bit like Talby, like Sean was saying. I don't always see the work rate coming back on the defensive side, but going forward, he's just going from strength to strength, and I think he's just finding his way in the Premier League. I know we're about just over a third of the season through now, but he's certainly finding his way, and he's finding his way at the right time.
Yeah, not a bad signing for a couple of million. Paul, I mean,
was cheap, wasn't he?
Well, 1.5 million for a year.
Aye,
he's 29,
crazy.
so he might not get a new contract next season, but at least he's on a job, I think. Paul, I mean, it only took me about 5 or 10 minutes into the second half to realise that what you've said before about the first half end to end was actually true, because we didn't look in control at all at any time of the game. I don't think. I think it was end to end for the whole 90 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the second half carried on the same. And you just thought there's probably going to be more goals, but could have gone to either way. The other thing that like we haven't mentioned is that so Bournemouth were the favourites today. I know because we're high in the table and you think, oh, we're at home, but another an amazing performance because this isn't like it's not like we're playing a lower bottom of the table team. They're like a good team. They're probably going to finish in the top half. So to go toe to toe with them and actually come out on top is an amazing performance.
I'm surprised that they were favourites, though, because they've only won one away game this season, I think.
Yeah, no, they were, but it shows as well that I think people, getting a bit ahead of ourselves because we're high in the league, thinking actually we should be beating these teams, but actually, these are like established Premier League teams with some like really really strong players, and yeah, they were like the book. They weren't odds on, but they were the significant like bookies' favourites.
Well, Sean, it was like your message to me at half time when you said like these are well weathered. You know what I mean? Like they're well weathered for this league. They know what they're doing. They're
a good side. Like Paul just said, they're a very good. They are, man. Like other than that second half against Arsenal, where I thought their movement was unreal. Right, in the Arsenal game, I thought Bournemouth's the best team I've seen. It's Sunderland this season. They were mint them. They honestly really were. I think again, like Paul said, we couldn't get a foothold in the game. We couldn't stamp with authority and have a real good where we're in control. It was just always you hit, we hit, you hit, we. It was like honestly like watching basketball where it's just you go and have a shot, we'll have one, you have one, we have one, and it's just whoever misses and takes the chances. And but they were really really good. They weren't. I think like we said earlier, they let themselves down with all the antics, but they're a good side, them man. They really are.
Pete,
so, their front four. Evan Nielsen was causing us problems.
Yeah.
Semenyo was bullying people around. Tavernier was like he hit that bar with that. Oh, he had a hell of a game. So like Sean and Paul have said, I think their front four were as good as any we've faced all season so really far. Were. And we dealt with it for the most part. I mean, it was like a game of basketball. It wasn't end-to-end stuff and wide open, but.
Do you think that it was like end to end because of like the change of formation, like playing 4 at the back and 5 in midfield? We've kind of like played a bit further up the field, whereas if we'd have played with a back 5, we'd have been sitting deep and we would have invited so much more pressure.
Yeah, but we didn't sit deep. We didn't sit deep, did we?
And I also think they didn't sit deep. They didn't play like in a way where they just go, we're just going to sit in here and we're going to fuss. They went bollocks. We're going to get at Sunderland. And it worked. It really did.
Yeah, I can't off the top of my head. I can't remember that like 20 early low 20s. Both the number they've scored and conceded. They're like one of the top scorers in the league and conceded. One of the teams who have conceded most goals as well. So they're like seems like they're used to quite high scoring games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
they've got 21 goals and conceded 23.
Yeah. So you can see that they do like those type of games. But
I hate to say it, lads. I hate to say it, but it reminded me of the old Liverpool Crows games when Liverpool 4, the Crows 3.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that type of game, but I just haven't seen it for such a long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were part of it was exciting to see. There's obviously a reason we don't have any hair, us lads, for the first half, but obviously the way we've come back, it was phenomenal to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Sean, he made his subs 63 minutes, a triple change. This is like so unlike Le Fee, isn't it? I mean, normally he doesn't do like such early subs, but also like 3 subs.
Yeah.
It's mental,
doesn't, does he?
No.
But again, he thinks a lot, doesn't he? And you can see he just doesn't get a nod. He's brilliant, man. Like, look, he's going from strength to strength. He really is. I think he loves these tactical battles, doesn't he? I honestly do. I think it's tailor-made for him when he just goes, right, I've got to change it and I've got to. And the Hume one was huge because I'm thinking, you play like it was a risk, wasn't it? Putting him where he put him.
Right.
Brobbey, I thought, well, he was excellent, you know. And then who else did he bring on? Oh, Mundle. And
Mundle.
were you winding me up? Were you winding me up, Lee, when you said he's got it wrong? I thought Mundle was mint, mate.
No, I thought he looked very rusty, mate.
No, he looked great.
He tried to look
good,
but he just looked like a player who hadn't played for a long time.
Well, he hasn't, but
he hasn't.
No, but he hasn't. But that's my point, basically, right? But like for me, it was like a risk putting him in when it's 2-2 in a game like this. I just thought it wasn't. I thought maybe it's like a Mayenda or a Dingo would have been a better option.
Mundle's pace is going to harm any team.
It is, and he's good getting back as well. Defensively, you know, Mundle's really good, by the way. He gets back really, really well. So I thought it was a clever thing what he done. Putting Hume then, putting Mundle there, who are both defensively decent, right? Which would allow the 2v1s both sides. I thought it was clever what he done, you know?
But I mean, the thing is that Mundle's only played, 45 minutes or 45 minutes in the under-21 since he's come back, and he's been out since pre-season. So I thought it was just a big risk. And I think, like, in the future, when he gets proper match fit, he'll be a massive asset for. But I thought today was a bit of a risky one to bring him on, because I look at him like the way he was like swinging at clearances, the way he was trying to pick up balls. He just looked very rusty, which is natural, obviously. But for me, I thought it would have been a better option. But anyway, it is what it is. Right, listen, we're going to take a quick break, lads, and we'll be back in a tick for part 2, and we'll talk about that magical moment from Ballard, not Brobbey. And we'll talk about the rest of the match. See you soon.
Hello, my name is Roberto. I'm from Brescia, Italy, and I support Sunderland. FTM!
Welcome back to part 2. Right, so we just talked about the subs. Paul, I think the subs made sense at that time. Although we don't normally see Lebris make 3 subs, but I thought Hume and especially Brobbey, we needed that because Isidore. I mean, we love Isidore, but he has been quiet the last few games. He hasn't scored for 4 games. Sean, I'll come on to you later because you mentioned that if he doesn't score today, then there must be like a change in the future. But Paul, what did you make of those subs? Was it very brave?
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock because at that point it was we're drawing. That was like 2-2, wasn't it, at that point? So to suddenly have a triple substitution on 62 minutes, I think it was. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock. Isidore, yeah, I didn't think he had a great game. Like during the first half, I was thinking would have preferred to give Mayenda a try, but then Brobbey came on, obviously got the goal, which I guess we'll come to. But yeah, I thought I didn't to be honest, I didn't like see a massive before and after change, but I thought like overall they were probably like good positive substitutions. And then ultimately, like when the goal came, it's the goal that no one else in the team would have been able to score that.
Yeah, no, and I think Pete as well. Those subs, like it's horrible weather. The pitch is probably like wet and sticky, and players' legs are getting tired. I think they said they were talking to Enzo Le Fee post match, Frankie and Danny, and they said that the dressing room was quite quiet because everyone was just knackered.
I bet. That's where Brobbey or Mayenda, with their pace on that surface, might have had a better impact. But Isidore's got goals for us early in the season, so he's got something up his sleeve right now. But Brobbey's scoring regularly now, and I think he's going to have I think that's probably going to be his starting forward in the future. But there was a great comment Xhaka made at the beginning of the week on an interview I was watching, and he said Lebris reminds him of a young Arsene Wenger, and that's high praise from someone like Xhaka. He says he leaves no stone unturned, and he's so deliberate about his thought processes, and all the players are buying into that. Did anyone watch the Peter Crouch podcast or listen to it?
Oh, no. Not occasionally, yeah, but
they talk about Parched, and Parched is that player who is always chatting with the coach, and that's Xhaka, obviously. So for Xhaka to say that about Lebris, I think that's high praise. Oh my word.
And not just Xhaka, it's like KLD as well. So in the Everton, before the Everton game on Sky Sports as well, that he's never seen someone like so detailed with every single minor detail that he's always on top of it. So
well, the fact that Xhaka played for Wenger and was involved with him, you know what I mean? I think that goes a long way. And we are seeing him make some earlier subs. Like last season, it was 75th minute, and then he'd make a sub.
Oh, if at all.
Now,
you know what I mean?
if at all. Yeah. Now, last couple of games, it's been 60 minutes, 63 minutes, and we're not used to that. But he's got such a mind, and he's so calm about everything. I think it's fantastic to watch, and we get carried away right now. We deserve to,
Yeah. Sean, before we get into the goal, I mean, obviously you were talking to me before the match saying like Isidore needs a performance, needs a goal. He didn't get one. Brobbey did. Do you think that means Isidore now he's had his bit of his run and he needs to take a spell out?
Yeah, listen, I love Isidore, but especially as well, for Liverpool, it's horses for courses. I think we're not going to see much of the ball, and I think I'd start Brobbey because he's massive and he's just going to hold the ball up better than what Isidore will. And I just think away when we're up against it, he'll do a better job away from home, Brobbey, than what Isidore will. I think he'll touch the ball more, he'll put himself about a bit more. And that's what we're going to need, like that sort of. He reminds me of like a Heskey, doesn't he? Just the stature of him. He's just a mountain, isn't he? He's not the tallest. I don't even know what height he is.
180, I think.
He's what?
180. 1 meter 80. Whatever that is, like 6 foot.
What's that in English?
6 foot. 6 foot.
5'9", 5'10", isn't it?
You're speaking to an actor brand, Jelly.
Yeah.
But but going back to Isidore, I just think he goes through spells, Isidore, doesn't he? He done it last season where he'll score a load of goals and then he goes 8 games without a goal. He just seems to do that. And I just think at this level, right, when you've got Mayenda who's chomping at the bit and you've got Brobbey who's coming on and scoring, we need to be a bit more ruthless, in my opinion. So I would sit him out and play Brobbey against Liverpool. There you go.
5'10", 5'10". I thought it was 6 foot.
You say 5'10", you say.
Hey, mine says 5'11". We can't all be right.
He grew a couple of inches when he jumped.
Jesus, he didn't even jump.
He grew his hair out.
But Paul, on that goal, like when I was watching the match, it was just Ballard over again, wasn't it? Because Enzo Le Fee picked up the ball in the corner, and like the cameras were zoomed in on these like 2 young kids. And the young kids were like saying, "Fucking come on!" Like get that. You kind of sensed that something was going to happen, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I said then that Brobbey's the only one who could score that goal. Actually, yeah, maybe Ballard could. But as Sean just said, like he didn't jump. It was just pure strength. It was unbelievable. Yeah. He made it look so easy. He just basically stood his ground, like just moved into position, held off the defender, and then just nodded it. Just timed the header perfectly. Just a little nod. And just put it straight in the corner. He made it look like a piece of cake.
Yeah.
If you look at the commentary, right? The commentary, like again, the commentary that Peter and I watch is a little different, but it's NBC or Peacock or whatever it is. But they were bashing the defender, saying, "How can you not jump there?" I said to me boy, I went, "Brobbey's so powerful. He didn't honestly, like Paul just said there. I think the sheer power of Brobbey. I just don't think he allowed him to jump. I think he was.
Well, I think he's like Dozy. He's like Dozy Altidore. With skill. I said
he scored more goals than Altidore has, hasn't he? In about 50 games. So
but he's got that stature, but he's skillful with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's built like Altidore. That's exactly who he's built like. Yeah, but better.
Right.
much better.
So, like, I mean, listen, it's great for Brobbey because 25 million, and to be fair, he must be really frustrated that he's not getting as many starts as he would like. But Paul, do you think that now he's got those 2 goals in 3 games that he's basically pressing his claims even more to get that?
I'd get him in. Yeah. And it's like I said at the start about Lebris and keeping a winning team. So like I hope he doesn't now because we've won today. He might just keep the same team again because he tends to do it, but. I mean, like you've also got I think you got to look at his performances coming on. His goals per minute must be like pretty good now. And as Sean was saying, like, looking at the fixtures we've got, maybe it suits those fixtures as well. So I think he deserves a chance. Yeah, and Mayenda as well. Mayenda's hardly had since was it the Burnley when he missed the sitter, and since then he hasn't started. I don't think has he, and he hasn't come on much either. So yeah, I mean he's probably now 3rd in the pecking order.
Well, there's the interesting thing about Mayenda because Lebris has actually said that he's probably going to get more game time in the coming weeks, but it might not be up front. It might be on the right wing, which I thought was interesting.
No, I called that at the start of the season, Lee, and you argued with us.
Did I?
Yeah,
Don't remember that, Mike.
I said when the AFCON comes along, he'll play a front three of Isidore on the left, Brobbey through the middle, and Mayenda on the right. And you went, oh no, not a chance. I went, he fucking will. I says that'll be a great front three. You got pace, power. Oh, I'm telling you.
I remember that comment of like a front three, but I thought you meant Mayenda up front.
No,
but like
well, on
the right wing.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I think he's a better right winger than he is a forward. If he's going to play up front, he needs a partner, I think. But like no one plays two forwards these days. But like Pete, onto the ref then. I mean, the ref, as the game went on in that second half, the ref just lost total control because he was given fouls which weren't fouls, and then fouls which were fouls he wasn't given.
I think after he gave 3 yellow cards to their bench, which you don't see in the stats, he lost the plot. Like there was stuff that he was letting go, and then I was thinking at the time, sometimes I was thinking, God, I'm glad he's letting the play go. But then other times he'd pull up some silly stuff. But I'm glad he got the one right with Cook, because that was a nasty elbow. And when they slowed it down and showed that, lad, oof, my word.
He knew what he was doing.
I think he had a bit of a nightmare, but I think with it was wet, miserable, and that's kind of how he played the game.
I mean, Paul, that red card, well, before the red card, I think if you're 2-0 up away from home and then you're losing 3-2 and your manager's losing the plot on the touchline, that obviously goes across to the players, doesn't it, as well? They kind of get that feeling as well, don't they?
Yeah, they were losing it. But from the first whistle, they were, like I said, it was like a derby, and I didn't notice there were so many yellows until Pete said 14. But it was like that kind of game, and they were losing it. And as after the third goal, especially, and then the sending off was, I didn't notice it live. It was only when I saw the replay that he did lift his arm up, knowing that he was gonna like give him, I don't know if it was his elbow or his forearm, but he knew what he was doing.
Even Iraola was like looking at the replay on the screen and he started whinging. I was like, how can you whinge about that? He's obviously, he didn't have to lift his arm up. You know what I mean? He could have put his shoulder there to protect himself from any contact.
I think his assistant coach there, Lee, I think his assistant coach pulled him up and said it was an elbow.
Yeah.
I'll give him his due there.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing there, the dirty bastard. He did, by the way.
Of course he did, yeah. But they were still whinging. But Sean, I mean, you coach. I mean, if you go down, if you're winning 2-0 away from home, I mean, and you start losing 3-2, and your coach loses it on the touchline, then it's the coach's fault, not the player's fault, in my opinion.
I mean, listen. Sometimes I just when I coach, I look to pick a fight just to get a reaction. I think I'm getting beat. I want my players to react. I'm just going to pick a little fight with their coach or the ref or a parent just to get a bit of a reaction. So sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm guilty of it myself. But I do.
You're not coaching like under sevens, are you?
No, high schoolers. It's all 11. It's all 11v11. But you're right. I think that's why I love Le Brie, because even at the Arsenal game, right, when I was watching the Arsenal game, and Arteta at one point was in his technical area. Now, if that's me, I'm going, fuck off, man. You go on, get out now. I'm losing my rag. He just didn't, Le Brie. He was brilliant. He just stood there with his arms folded. And that just comes across, doesn't it? But when you've got this knacker today, screaming and shouting and stuff, I think his players lost the plot as well. I did. So I just think at the highest level, you need to be a bit calmer, don't you? Like Lee Johnson used to do, didn't he? He used to pick fights all the time. All the time. He never had a game where he didn't pick a fight. And I used to think he's just a bell end, and it doesn't work at the highest level, I don't think. I mean, Peter, you've coached at a good level as well. I don't think it works at the highest level. I think you've got to be calm.
I think he was trying to say to his players, I've got your back.
Yeah.
But when 3 of your staff get yellow cards at one go, I think going back to what Paul was saying, I think the ref kind of lost the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a point. If an assistant coach takes a yellow for the head coach, which is kind of common over here in the States, they'll do that. But for all three of them, it backfires, and it obviously backfired for them because the players lost the plot like he did, you know?
But like you said, Peter, as well, the assistant's actually saying to him, he elbowed him, mate. Like
Right.
he did. So
He did.
that's then him thinking, cheeky bastard, didn't back us up, you know?
Yeah.
So
But isn't this like totally like contrasting management styles? I mean, if you look at Iraola, you look at Arteta going berserk on the touchline. You look at Lebris, even if we're 2-0 down, like Sean mentioned before, he just doesn't panic.
nah.
And he mentioned, like, if you listen to his pre-match conference, press conference, he mentioned like the Fulham game, and he said, "Listen, we lost 1-0. We need these experiences to grow as a team." We said we'll learn from it. He said it wasn't a 3 or 4-0 defeat, and we had one man sent off. We lost 1-0. Listen, we conceded chances, but the players stayed disciplined, and I think that comes from Lebris, isn't it? That calmness. That if he's not panicking, then the players don't need to panic. But as you mentioned before, Lee Johnson. When he was panicking, the players panicked. We got red cards and we got dicked like 5-0 at Bolton. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Pete, like, how impressive is this Lebris impact? The way he's managing the squad and the way he's managing the expectation of the fan base. Because us fans, we're getting carried away, but he's not. He's taking it game by game, isn't he?
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, having taught sports psychology for nearly 30 years and coached and. You know, I was telling Lee that I spent some time at Ajax and the total football and all that. It really pleases me because the players are bought in. We went 2-0 down and we didn't panic. And that's from the coach and the coaching staff and everything he instills in the training pitch. And it's a bit like Jacques' comment a couple of weeks back when the Everton game, I think it was, when he said, well, we're playing like we trained yesterday, you know, and I just think that calm influence he has, 2-0 down, most teams could have folded. I mean, I don't know if you watched the Crows playing earlier. They went 3 or 4-0 up against Everton, and Everton capitulated. We didn't do that. And I think that's his calmness and how level-headed he is. There's that quiet confidence, and it just breeds through the team in our performances.
Yeah.
But how many Sunderland teams have we seen in all our lives, right? That there's loads of teams at 2-0 that would have went 2-0 down, right? In relegation, like in Premier League times, when we've seen some, they would have got beat 4 and 5-0 today.
Mm-hmm.
Many Sunderland teams in our lifetime
Aye.
that would have just folded like a deck of cards, and you almost, like you said, Pete, you almost think, nah, we're not going to cave in, we're not, and. No, and it's almost like it's not like Sunderland, right? And it's like it might not come off for like it didn't last week at Fulham, right? But we just have this inner where we're not getting dick. There's something in with that just goes, and I think it comes from Jacques, I mean, it comes from Lebris, and it just comes from the whole philosophy, you know. And it's so good to see, isn't it? You know,
it is. Oh, it's incredible to see.
It also took a lot of character when we went 3-2 up. Bournemouth then had started throwing the kitchen sink, and they had that one that hit the underside of the bar. But we were under a lot of pressure and to defend so well and to keep them out. So if you think, I mean, the match, there was so much added time that in the end, it was must have been nearly 110 minutes, and we conceded 2 goals. One was from like pretty much the halfway line, and the other one was a slip. And apart from that, we haven't conceded a goal in 110 minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Lebris is that what I say about him is, and he's comments in press conferences and interviews and all that, he always says that if it's something that I can't control, then I don't get worried about it. And that's what makes him so calm, I think, is that like a lot of coaches would get worried about absolutely everything. And us as fans do as well, don't we? We kind of like panic, but he just said, listen, if it's in my control, I can handle it. If it's out of my control, then what's the point of worrying about it? Yeah. And I think that's why he's so calm, isn't he?
Well, you got to think about KLD and Speakman. Okay, he got relegated with Lorient, and they still went after him. So that's putting a lot of confidence in the lad and what they've seen about him. And it also shows a lot of respect that I think is deserving to those two by putting the faith in that. But they've obviously done their homework.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing is that he goes again. He books the trend, doesn't he? He goes against like the tradition of like Sunderland head coaches, because we don't like a Di Canio, Poyet, McCarthy, Peter Reid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Roy Keane.
When you look at these managers who have done well in our life, like Reedy, Keano, Allardyce, people like that, they're all characters, aren't they? They're all bold and hard, and he's just the complete opposite, and like you say, he just from a fitting perspective, you would think he doesn't fit this football club, but he's fitting it better than anyone who could ever thought.
But at the same time, he does, because if we had like a Reedy or a Keane, our expectations will be much higher. But I think he kind of keeps us in check. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't let us get ahead of ourselves. He keeps game by game, and everything he says makes sense.
Yeah,
and he doesn't moan about decisions, about referee. Like you said, like if it's out of his control, he doesn't worry about it. Like he gets asked in the interviews, like you should have had a penalty, perhaps, and he said, like, yeah, well, the referee decided no, so that's what it is. You know what I mean? So like, why am I going to worry about it? Do you know what I mean? So, and I think that's exactly what we need as a very demanding fan base, isn't it? That we are getting a bit carried away, but he's there to peg us down. But he's not doing it in a kind of patronising way. He's doing it in a kind of sensible way, isn't he, Paul?
Yeah, and I think it seems just like a really good fit with the players. Seems like he's what they need. Most of them are new to the Premier League. I saw it was like a table of the proportion of players that are new to the Premier League in each team, and Sunderland's first with like 80% or something, and then the second team's got like 25% or something. So like it's pretty amazing to have so many players who've never played in the Premier League before, and he's just managed to manage them so they're going into games like positive but calm, not panicking, and it just seems like a perfect fit at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, listen, I'm going to give Trey Hume another bit of praise, because that tackle that he did at the end of the game, one of his trademark.
Just Hume-esque, yeah. That's what he does. Brilliant,
wasn't it?
Hey, can I just ask though as well? Where's these 25 points that Leeds had on at the start of the season? All Leeds United spoke about was 24. We finished 25 points ahead of Sunderland. How's that doing you? Honestly, we look night and day better than Leeds and Burnley would do by a mile. It's madness how the progression we've made and the number of players we've brought in, and we signed 14 or 15 players, and we just look like a complete different team, don't we, from last season? And it's brilliant. It really is.
Well, on that point, Sean, I mean, Brentford beat Burnley 3-1 today. Man City beat Leeds 3-2. I mean, Leeds, fair enough, like fair play to them.
They do battle. They do fight and battle.
They're probably better than Burnley. You know what I mean?
They are. Yeah.
But that bottom three right now is Wolves 2 points, Burnley 10, where Leeds 11, West Ham 11, who play tomorrow, I think. Do you think it's between those four?
Well, it's not between us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It as long as I've got a hole in my arse, it's not. It isn't.
Yeah.
So I don't care now, because there's no way, man. No way. What are we on now? 20? Are we on 22 or 21?
22.
22.
We effectively need 5 more wins, right? We're on 22 before Christmas.
After 13 games.
Yeah. So it's usually a point a game to stay up, isn't it? You need a point a game, don't you? And if you drop below the point a game threshold, you're in trouble. So we're going into December on 22 before Christmas, and I think we'll spend money in January. I honestly think we'll spend 50, 60 million in January. So, we're going to do okay this season, boys.
All right. Well, I mean, Paul, I'm looking at the stats now of the match, right? And like, if I were a Bournemouth fan, I'd be pretty pissed off that they didn't get anything from that match, because they had 56% possession. They had 18 shots, 6 on target. The XG was 1.86 and ours was 1.24, and we still managed to score 3. Completed passes, we had 231, they had 333. Pass accuracy, 81%. We had 73. Touches in opposition box, 31 for us, 37 for them. I mean, they were a very good team, weren't they? And like, you'd probably be a bit pissed off if you were a Bournemouth fan.
Yeah,
going home
I feel
today.
like there's been loads of these matches this season. I feel like for a lot of the game, the opposition looked like the better team, and they look like Premier League teams that have been in the Premier League for a while, and then we just seem to get more of the key moments. Like we just stick the chances away, or Roofs makes like really good saves, and it feels like we at both ends we kind of just get the rub of the green, or have like a bit of skill or finishing. But I do feel that in plenty of games the opposition seems like really strong, and for much of the game, like you're thinking we're just kind of trying to stay in it. And this is going back to your point about expectations. I do think there's going to be a run where we're going to go, I don't know, 5 games losing on the bounce, or we're going to go 5 to 10 without a win, because this is the way it is. We're just like, there's so many games that are kind of basically a toss of a coin. Who's gonna win it? Like so evenly matched, and so far we've done unbelievably well to get to a point where we are basically going toe to toe and being neck and neck with teams like Everton, Bournemouth, Brentford. And so far it's kind of coming off for us, and we're just getting those last minute winners. Or my only kind of worry going forward is that I feel like people might get a bit ahead of fans. We're going to get a bit ahead of ourselves and think that, okay, we're playing the likes of Fulham when we play Fulham at home or whatever, that we should be beating them. And actually, these are really good teams. So it doesn't surprise me that Bournemouth had like the better of the stats. It's still a brilliant result to go toe to toe and actually somehow manage, partly to do with the attitude of the players, to actually just come out on top.
Yeah, until the end.
Can I just say there, Lee? Martin O'Neill, when he stepped into the interim role at Celtic, he says, "I'm 73-year-old. I don't know what XG means." He says, "All I know is my team's got to score more than the other."
Yeah, I was going to say, I do a lot of it with work and stuff, and it's a load of shite, because because look, you can go full back to centre back, switch it, and you can just fanny about with the ball, right, and go, my XG's mint you, but you've done nothing. You've done nothing with it. Like, you haven't penetrated, you haven't gotten the final third, you haven't put crosses in the box, right? And ultimately you've lost the game 1-0, or you've drew, so be quiet. Like, it doesn't, honestly, it can be a big myth, and it really can. And it's all just
today proves that, doesn't it?
Well, look, we said at the start of the season, he's happy letting teams outplay us effectively, right? The only times I think we're going to have more possession is when we play like Burnley at home, or teams that were expected to, like, probably Burnley and maybe Fulham at home, right? Every other team, no disrespect, are going to have more possession than us. They are, but it's about how you put the ball away, isn't it? It is. It's like, what's he called? Who was it who said it? I can't remember who he was, and he said, it's like me dancing with a girl all night, and I'm dancing and buying her drinks, and Lee comes in and takes her home. Not that would ever happen, by the way. But he ultimately just went, "See you later, mate. You've wasted your time." Do you know what I mean? It's that's what happens, isn't it? It's putting the ball away.
Yeah, well, but now that you've compared me with Phil Mitchell, I've got the fucking no chance, haven't I? So,
hey, he gets the women, Phil Mitchell.
He does, doesn't he?
Does he? I thought that was grand.
No, Phil does as well.
P, a word on the fans, because we are still unbeaten at the Stadium Light this season. Absolutely phenomenal. Piss and rain, horrible conditions, but there they were again, singing the hearts out, getting behind the team. And a massive influence, right?
Oh, incredible. And Brobbey just said, when they did an interview with him after the game, he goes, "They're our 12th man." It's a term Sean and I hear over here from that American throwball game. They count as the fans as the 12th man. I haven't heard it said so much over back at home. And Brobbey came out and said that. He goes, "My goal against Arsenal was fantastic and I loved it. And the fans were amazing." He goes, "But that goal today, the fans were even better." And even when we went 2-0 down, the commentators made a comment about the crowd being quiet. I don't think they were quiet 1 minute. I have to be honest. It might have took the wind out of our sails while they were eating a bit of a pie or having, But at the end of the day, they're there thick or thin. And I remember when the Crows were down in the second division, the old second division, and they were getting 8,000 fans, and they were like, "Oh, we've got the best fans in the world." That's what they keep telling us. They had 8,000 watching them. Sunderland's had 35, 40,000 even when we're in the old League One. So they're just phenomenal. They're absolutely amazing.
All right, and there's a couple of NASA boys there at the match today, wasn't there, as well? Sean?
Aye. Just
there was
pictures.
Martin in Toronto was there, and I think a few others were there as well. So it's great to see the international
it
support.
It's great when they get across and they win as well, because some of them it's the first trips across and stuff, and it's a good time to go across, isn't it? It really is, man. Like the place is buzzing, the stadium looks really nice. It's all been done up, and then you're getting to see performances and players that are on the pitch that we've never seen before. Like I'm looking to go back in April for International Fans Day. I've just leaked that, by the way. I don't even think it's been announced yet, but it's the Tottenham game. There you go. But Gavin Frater's going to do his fucking nut with us. But anyhow, but I'm going across for that. And I can't wait to see I'm just going to enjoy watching the likes of Xhaka and stuff, and just being there. I can't wait. So. Yeah,
I'm going to be going there as well for International Fans Day. So you owe me a couple of pints to call me Grant Mitchell
definitely.
or Phil Mitchell.
We'll have a few, don't worry.
Paul, you were born in the northwest, close to Liverpool. That's our next match. Obviously, your dad's from Sacriston in County Durham. Not far from you, Pete, isn't it? In Chesley Street,
no,
Sacriston.
Just up the road. I used to play cricket at Sacriston.
Yeah. So, Paul, you were born in the northwest. We got your neighbours, Liverpool, on Wednesday night. Is it a good time to play them?
Yeah, well, so most of my mates support Liverpool. Yeah, I think, it's a good time to play them. God knows what's going on there. It's just ridiculous. They're losing 4-1 to PSV, losing 3-0 to Forest. Was it they lost to?
Well, isn't like the last three games they've conceded minimum 3 goals.
It's absolutely
don't say
crazy.
this. Come on.
Don't jinx us. Come on.
They're going to turn it on against it.
I saw someone put that Slot's still got the highest win percentage of any Liverpool manager ever. And I was looking at his stats, and he's just drawn so few number of games that his win percentage is high, but his loss percentage is also like relatively high. But they're on such a bad run; they're going to be under a lot of pressure. Does that kind of like release a bit of tension from our side that we can go there? I think like after the win today, we can go there with pretty much no pressure. Like it's just like a boat. These next 2 games against Liverpool and City are almost like just bonus chances.
Don't say free hit, because I hear that. I hate that.
I was just gonna say I don't believe in free hits neither.
No, I hate that.
I didn't. Luckily, I didn't say free hit. But I think, I'm going like not got much expectations on them. But you know what? I think like our style of play is actually quite suited to playing against the good teams. So I think at Liverpool we'll probably go 5 at the back, probably go like defensive, try and hit them on the break, and if we can get to half-time 0-0, then you never know. I think we tend to be stronger in the second half of games. So let's see.
Yeah, Pete, thoughts on that Liverpool game on Wednesday?
Well, I mean, their backline is in disarray. If we've got Brobbey, if he starts, he's just going to run them ragged. And I think, to be honest, Le Fee playing in that free role, I know it's not exactly free, but he's just a different player again. I love him. He plays well out wide, but in that free role, he's just a different player. And he adds something that will cause them real problems. Because McAllister, if he's playing, Xhaka will just nullify him, hopefully. And then if you got Saliba and Le Fee just running at them and slicing and dicing, and then find our wide players, I think we could cause them havoc.
All right. Sean, Go on and give us your thoughts on the Liverpool game. We got
Do you know what?
2 out.
No, it reminds us of when, listen, we went to Man U early on in the season and they were in disarray and we underestimated them and everyone was going, oh, it's the worst Man United team, this. And there's never been a better chance of going to Old Trafford and Amarin's just about to get sacked and they beat her. So, no, but I just mean, he's all right, everything you've said. I've got a lot of mates out here who are Liverpool fans and there's a few that make good points about the whole Jota thing. Every 20 minutes at Anfield, it's getting into the players and the whole they haven't got over it and stuff. And I mean, I don't know if that's just what they're coming up with, saying, especially at Anfield, they're just not getting over the whole 20-minute Jota thing when it comes up, and the players are still shocked by it. And I just think like what you boys have just said, if we can keep it tight until half time, in just because the onus is on them, like Paul said, the onus is on them, like. The crowd's going to be up. If they're not a goal up after 15 minutes, they're going to be booing. They're going to be kicking off. It might play into our hands, you know.
I asked my mate who's a Liverpool fan earlier, like what was he thinking? He said that against PSV and Forest, they actually started pretty well. I didn't watch the games, but he said they actually started pretty well. But the thing is, once they go behind or things start going a bit pear-shaped, then they completely collapse. So I think for us next week, it's. Trying to just if we can stay in the game and then go in front, that's when we hopefully then they'll capitulate again. But it sounds
I've never
another
seen
game where they come out of the traps fast, like happened against Man U.
I've never seen Van Dijk as frazzled as he has been these last 2 games, and Notts Forest got it spot on. I love Sean Dyche. I mean, he could be mates with Lee and the brothers on EastEnders, and but he got it right. You know what I mean? And he didn't back off, and he went and took the game to them. I think if we go back 5 against Liverpool, I know it's away. I don't know why he wouldn't build on what happened today. I know we're playing at home and it's a little different, but there's so much came from that back 4. That have freed up the players ahead of them. I would play a back 4 against Liverpool because I think teams that have got at them have caused them problems. And I think
they're vulnerable. Yeah.
And I think if we play just on the counter attack, it might be successful. Hopefully it is. But I think we're giving them too much. And I think what Forest showed and what PSV showed, get at them and they're fallible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He will go to a back 5, though. I think, won't he? Honestly, I think he will. I think he'll get.
Which is fair enough. I think. Which is fair enough.
Well, he did against Man United, and then Sean made that point, and then he made the adjustment. But we're already 2-0 down.
We were, and the game was done. And listen, I agreed with what he did. Listen, I do agree with it. I mean, but like you say, it's tough in a back 5, isn't it? Because like you said, Peter, there. If you go a goal down in that back 5, you have to change it. You do.
Aye, you do.
Because your whole game plan is not to go a goal down and to be tight. So you're sort of going, 15 minutes in now, I've got to change it. And then if you're in a back 4 and you go a goal down, you think, I should have went with the back 5. Like, he's going to get... No, but it's true though, isn't it? Like, if we go there in the back 4 and we go a goal down, everyone's going to go, you should have went with the back 5. So it's just a conundrum he's got to get right. You know, and I think he will, by the way.
Well, listen, lads, before we finish, because we've got about a minute left. Very quickly, one word, who was your man of the match? Paul?
One word, it has to be, I can't say Le Fee, I'll have to say Enzo.
I mean, one short sentence. Pete?
Enzo.
Sean?
Ronaldo.
Right. All right. Well, that's it for today then. Sunderland, 4th place, 22 points, 13 games. Absolutely madness, isn't it? But Fulham have beat Tottenham 2-1, so they've done us a favour as well. So yeah, onwards and upwards. And we've got Liverpool on Wednesday, and we'll see how that goes. Lads, thanks for joining us. How were the lads?
Brilliant.